Okay. This is another episode, another nice looking challenge to do. It's called palindrome number. So the palindrome number is let's say given an integer x, we return true if x is a palindrome or false otherwise. I want to take a few examples and before we dive down is resolving and this by coding Java and Python. Okay, so let's do example 1. In example 1 we have input x go 1 2 1, and for the output in this small course is going to be true. And the way you explain this, the way you want to explain this is that 1 to 1 is is read as 1 to 1 from left to right. From left to right is 1 to 1, and from right to left is 1 to 1. So which is which give which return true. So this is this is a palindrome. Okay, so let's do example. So this is from left to right, from right to left, right. Okay. Example 2. We have our input s. Input s will be minus 1 to 1. Our output will be false because explanation from left to right it read from left to right it reads minus 1 to 1. From right to left we go that way, left to right, and from right to left it's 1 to 1 minus. Okay, so keep that in mind, bear that in mind. So this is not the palindrome. It's not. This is not 1. Okay, this is not. Let's do this now. We can do another example. Example 3. Let's say our input will be 10. So output will be of course false because explanation explanation we have from right to from read 0 1 from right to left, 0 1 from right to left. Okay, start from here, we'll go back and we read 1 0 from left to right. So this is not the palindrome. These two are different. So it's not the palindrome. Okay, so this is a couple example to for you to understand what the palindrome is. So we're going to dive down this thing and solve it by coding this thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to code in Java and Python, right? So I'm going to do it Java first, but then I'm going to go ahead and do the Python version of what I'm going to do. Okay. So as a Java version, we're going to have something like this. We're going to have a class. Our class solution, of course, we're going to have that. Okay. And then we're gonna have a public. This is something I already, I already work on that. And then I try on my compiler, so Absorb. So it's working fine on my side. I want you to try as well to see what's gonna happen. So first we're gonna set our X, okay? If our X is negative, so we automatically return false because anything negative is really not gonna work. So let's set that first. And then, so we're gonna return a big false right here. After that, we're going to initialize our variable, right? We're going to have two variables. One that I call reverse. We're going to set that to 0. Our reverse here, it will initialize a variable to store the reverse of the input number, okay, starting from 0, right? And then we're going to have another variable called S copy that will create a copy of the original input, right? Number X to compare with the reverse that we have later, right? So everybody keep on touch. But then after that, we're gonna have our while loop. Okay, we're gonna have a while loop in here. I'm gonna write that down and let you guys know what the while loop will do, absolutely do. So that while loop that will keep going until the input of the number X becomes 0, right? So inside that while loop, we're gonna set something like this. Reverse equals the reverse times 10 plus the X modulus 10. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and explain that to you guys. So what we're doing here is that we're getting the last digit of X by taking the remainder when divided by 10. Okay, we divide by 10. So we're taking the remainder when we divide this by 10. Okay, we're getting the last digit, right? But we have to take the remainder when we divide this by 10. No, so we're taking the last digit of it, right? And then we're adding the last digit to the reverse, which is this one. No, we're adding the last digit to the reverse variable right here. After shifting the existing digit 1 plus to the left, that's why we multiply by 10. I'm gonna say it again. We add the last digit to the reverse variable after shifting the existing digit 1 plus to the left, which will multiply by 10, right? And then we add everything to reverse. But then we're going to update our X by doing this. So we're going to divide by 10, take the last digit. We're going to update our X by removing the last digit. And you can divide by, we're going to remove the last digit. So you divide by 10, you remove the last digit, and then we put everything back to X. Okay. So after doing everything that we said, right? Then we're going to compare. We're going to compare our reverse with its copy. If that copy is fine, So if the copy is equal, return true. Indicate that the original number is polynomial, otherwise return false, which we did right up here. So this is my Java version of that, you know. This is my Java version of resolving palindrome. So I want you guys to look at this and then see if it's the same as yours, or if you have a better solution, let me know on the comment, and then I'll be happy to discuss that with you. So that Java version being done, right? We're gonna go and do the we're gonna go into the Python version of this beautiful challenge that called Palindrome. Okay. The Java version of this, the Python version of this, if I repeat myself, will be so we're gonna do Python. Okay. Python also is it's easy. It's not that hard. It's a very easy one to do. If you try, you see it's not really that hard. So we're gonna have our class. We're gonna have a class here. Our class solution. And then our method right there and its argument in it. I just want to make something clear before I keep going. The types. Okay. The types of X is an int. Okay. The type of our methods itself is a boolean, because we return it either true or false. Remember, so keep those two in mind before we keep going and solve this thing. Okay, so we sequence set our if our first, we're going to set this our first if this thing is if the X is negative, there's no way it's gonna be a palindrome, so we return false. And in Python, be careful when you put in the return. You can't do return like this. You will be an error, right? So you wanna return by writing the F capital like that. Okay, and then that will pass your compiler. So return false like this. So we still gonna have our variable that we're gonna initialize, reverse. And the copy of X. Okay. And then we're gonna have our while loop. Okay. In which we're gonna have the reverse. If I'm writing this right, or reverse. Okay, the same thing that we did in Java, we're gonna have the same thing as well here. So we're gonna do reverse. Multiply by 10 plus the X taking the last digit of X. So we measuring this, okay? So we get the last digit of X by taking the remainder here when we divide by 10. And then after that, we add this last digit to the reverse variable. After we want to add this variable here, after multiplying the existing digit, after shifting the existing digit one place to the left by multiplying it by 10. Okay, see here we're shifting, and here we're taking the last digit. Okay, so I'm gonna do this whole thing here. Okay, we're shifting the existing digits. Okay, one plus to the left, and here we actually getting the last digit. So keep those two in mind, okay, for this one. All right, so I have this little thing set right there. Let me go ahead and do this. Maybe that will help. Shifting digits to the right, shifting digits to the left, and here get the last digit. Okay. Then after doing that, we have to now update S by removing the last digits. By doing that, we're doing that by dividing by 10. Okay, so everything we're doing here, we're now putting back into X. So everything we're doing there, I'm gonna have to put in red so you can see everything we're doing here. Is by we update X by removing the last digit. To update X, okay? Putting everything back into X. All right, so after we've done that, we're just gonna return. So whatever we define with true, so we just want to return. We're gonna compare both. If I can write reverse, let's copy. If this is true, it will return. If this is true, it will return true. Okay. So but now we're gonna talk about the complexity. I love that. So when we're done, we're gonna do the complexity of this thing. We're gonna do the complexity of this thing. Okay. Always. So time complexity and of course space complexity, those two come all the time. So you need to know that. Time and space. Here our time complexity is gonna be O log n log x. Okay. And the space of course is gonna be O1. Okay. So that being said, this is what I have for you so far. What I do need to do for I do need you to do for this, one, you can follow this channel. Two, you can share. Three, you can like it. Four, you can comment. So tell me what I can do better and then how I can I can improve and all that thing. And subscribe too right now. Subscribe to the channel so we can do more beautiful things together. in the upcoming days and years and everything, man, until we keep the channel going. So and above all, I just wanna thank you, big thank for following you and learning from what we do, uh, learning from what I'm doing and then what we do and then where we wanna go from here. So I want to put a big heart here in red. Okay, so much love. Thank you and bye bye.